Israeli authorities have said that 2 people have been killed in a shooting attack on a car driving in West Bank. The Israel military said the shooting was carried out on a vehicle at the Hamra junction and the IDF soldiers were searching the area. The responding ambulance service reported that when they arrived at the scene, they found a wrecked Israeli vehicle with 3 women, 2 of whom had died, along with a Palestinian vehicle standing nearby. Israel on Thursday launched airstrikes against the Hamas in the Gaza Strip. The airstrikes came after Tel Aviv vowed retaliation for a barrage of cross-border rockets fired from Lebanon, which it blamed on Palestinian groups. The Israeli military is also targeting areas in Lebanon. Violent explosions were heard in the southern part of the country. Israel's military said 34 rockets were fired across the border and that 25 were shot down by its Iron Dome aerial defense system. Another 5 rockets struck Israeli territory and the rest of the strikes were being investigated. Tensions have soared between Israel and Palestinians during the Jewish Passover and the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov met with the Turkish Foreign Minister in Ankara for talks. The two discussed the Ukrainian conflict and trade as well as the Black Sea grain deal. The Turkish Foreign Minister was previously noted saying that he will discuss developments in the Ukraine war with Lavrov during his visit. In the United States, the Republican-led House has voted to expel 2 of the 3 Democratic representatives after they took part in a gun control protest. Protesters flooded the State House last Thursday calling for stricter gun laws. These protests came 4 days after the tragic Nashville school shooting in which 3 children and 3 school staff members died. Republicans have accused the 3 Democrats, Justin Pearson, Gloria Johnson and Justin Jones, for disorderly behavior and said they had intentionally brought dishonor to the House through their individual and collective actions. Senior U.S. lawmaker Michael McCall has stated that he is doing everything possible to speed up the delivery of weapons to Taiwan. He went on to say that the U.S. wants to do everything to stop China from ever thinking about landing on the shores of Taiwan because that would be a serious mistake for everybody. This comes amid heightened tensions with China following Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen's meeting with the U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy earlier this week. U.S. President Joe Biden's administration released a summary of the after-action reports on the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan on Thursday. The report has blamed the previous Trump administration, which had pledged to the Taliban that U.S. would leave Afghanistan by May 2021, sharply criticizing the previous government. It said Biden inherited a chaotic and crippled operation in Afghanistan and that the Biden government was left with two choices, either withdraw forces or continue fighting with the Taliban. A man was arrested after he shot and killed 1 person and wounded 2 others, including a highway patrol officer at a park in Northern California. The local police captain reported that California highway patrol officers were serving a warrant to the suspect when he began shooting at them, following which officers confronted the suspect, who was still carrying a gun and was seen running from officers at a city park where this incident took place. The suspect took 2 hostages and then later surrendered. According to officials, both hostages were shot and 1 of them died. Nuclear envoys of the United States, South Korea and Japan have condemned North Korea's recent missile launches and expressed deep concern over its malicious cyber activities to support its weapons program. This comes as South Korea's chief nuclear negotiator held a trilateral meeting with the U.S. and Japanese counterparts in Seoul. The South Korean official said that the 3 countries will effectively counter North Korea's future provocations and cut their revenue streams that fund these illegal activities. He added that North's provocations should never go unpunished. The families of 4 children killed at a Brazilian preschool held funerals for them a day after an attacker murdered them with a knife. Shocking the country, a 25-year-old man with a history of violent behavior jumped a wall to get into the preschool and went on a murderous spree on a playground. Authorities reported the attacker, who had at least 4 prior arrests, acted alone. The attacker handed himself in after the assault. Brazilian president also condemned the crime as a monstrosity. He added that his administration would provide around $29 million in federal funding to all local governments to bolster security in schools. Dozens of firefighters battled a huge blaze in Mexico City's sprawling wholesale market without any reported injuries. Flames leaped high into the night sky, fed by swirling winds. The city's fire chief told media that the immediate concern was a nearby gas station, but some 80 firefighters on the scene were beginning to control some parts of the fire. Chile has signed new laws and allocated $1.5 billion to fight crime. This amid the rising concerns of insecurity in the country. The move comes a day after the 3rd police officer in less than a month was killed on duty. The 4 signed laws, according to the government, which will help fight organized crime and drug trafficking. One law increases penalties of crimes against the police. The law has, however, been criticized by human rights groups, which say that it could increase police abuse and impunity. The Coast Guard patrol ships in Japan have found an unused lifeboat whose serial number matches the missing Japanese Army Black Hawk helicopter near the presumed crash site. The lifeboat seemed unused along with a door and other fragments. The Black Hawk helicopter disappeared Thursday afternoon while on a reconnaissance mission in Japan's southern islands and was carrying 10 still missing crew members. And Japanese Defense Minister stated that the Japanese authorities were taking this accident very seriously and they will do their utmost to rescue the missing. The former Taiwan President Ma Ying is expected to wrap up his historic 12-day visit to mainland China today. During his visit, which comes at a time of heightened Taipei-Beijing tensions, Ma met with the head of China's Taiwan Affairs Office. He called for peaceful relations between Taiwan and China, which he said was quote-unquote general mainstream view of the Taiwanese people. Ma, who served as president from 2008 to 2016, met the Chinese President Xi Jinping in Singapore in late 2015, shortly before the current Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen was elected. Thousands of people have fled into Thailand following fierce fighting between Myanmar rebels and the military. According to Thai officials, Myanmar has been in turmoil since Aung San Suu Kyi, the Nobel laureate, and Burmese politicians' civilian government were toppled in an army coup 2 years ago. Thai officials have also reported clashes between Myanmar's military and armed ethnic rebels near a southeastern Myanmar town which borders Thailand's Tak province. Thailand officials estimate around 4,000 people from Myanmar that have fled to Thailand across different areas seeking shelter. A Ugandan court has charged Karamoja Affairs Minister Mary Kitutu with several corruption offences. She is charged with several corruption offences, including loss of public property and conspiracy to defraud. According to local media reports, the charge sheet said that she caused the loss of 14,500 roofing iron sheets by diverting them to her own benefit and to benefit third parties. However, she pleaded not guilty to all charges after she was charged. She was remanded and is ordered to reappear in court on April 12th. The United Nations Highest Court has ruled that it can hear a case between South American neighbors Guyana and Venezuela about a border dispute that dates back to 1899. The decision comes after rejection of Venezuela's challenge to the case's admissibility. The ruling was a second defeat for Venezuela's attempts to have the case tossed out. Venezuela had argued that the court could not hear the case without the involvement of the United Kingdom, which was Guyana's colonial master at the time of the border decision. The territorial dispute dates back to an arbitration award by an international tribunal in 1899. NASA has launched a new device on a Falcon 9 rocket which will track air pollution over North America down to the neighborhood level, and the tropospheric emissions monitoring of pollution instrument will allow scientists to monitor air pollutants and their emission sources more extensively than ever before. Existing pollution monitoring satellites are in low Earth orbit, which means they can only provide observations once a day at a fixed time. With this new device, scientists will be able to make hourly measurements. According to the American Association, 137 million people in the US live in places with unhealthy levels of particle pollution and air pollution, which is blamed for more than 60,000 premature deaths a year. Authorities have urged people in the northern Thai city of Chiang Mai to stay indoors and work from home as air pollution spiked to hazardous levels in the city. Smoke from forest fires and farmers burning stubble has choked the city with a thick blanket of pollution. Chiang Mai was ranked as the most polluted major city in the world, ahead of the regular hotspots such as Delhi and Lahore. Levels of the most dangerous PM2.5 particles were more than 66 times the World Health Organization's annual guideline. Nearly 2 million people have needed hospital treatment for respiratory conditions caused by air pollution this year alone, according to the Thai Public Health Ministry. A Kyrgyz environmental activist has found a way to combat toxic fumes by sewing clothes out of waste that would otherwise be burning in a landfill for someone's stove. Garments are a major industry in Kyrgyzstan, but manufacturers often discard scrap material in landfills outside the capital to be burnt or scavenged to heat people's homes. Those fumes make the air even more toxic, which is already one of the world's most polluted cities. But the activist makes use of a traditional patchwork sewing technique to recycle the textile waste into colorful blankets, clothes and accessories. Endangered ring-tailed lemurs at the Whipsnade Zoo celebrated Easter early this year with surprise snacks and painted decorations. And a video released by the zoo shows the animals reaching for paper-mache eggs filled with sweet potato treats. 2 wolverines received surprise pinatas stuffed with meaty treats, and a one-horned rhino looked for its snack hidden in brightly painted Easter boxes. Thousands of Catholic worshippers flooded the streets of Seville at midnight to attend the La Madruga, one of the city's most iconic Easter processions. Under the full moon, the Virgin of Macerna and Jesus of Great Power floats are carried by dozens of bearers led by the Nazarene, wearing distinctive pointy hoods and robes. The sculptures weave through the city for up to 14 hours along crisscrossing routes, accompanied by the faithful crying and singing to the Virgin Mary and to Jesus.